How's it going? My name is Sange. Thanks for coming out today. All right, what a cool spot, right? You guys ready to have fun?
Yes.
Yeah? Did we get drinks?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I want to make a toast. Put your glasses in the air, and let's celebrate my 1-year anniversary, thank you, of sobriety. You all look so insensitive right now. But really, this month, a year ago, I was throwing up on a megabus at 7 in the morning. And it was in that moment I wiped the vomit off of my face and decided to make the change. And then probably threw up 6 more times. Look, I don't have endless months to ease you into the crazy, okay? I've only got an hour with you. We're gonna trauma dump. No, but I did make it 1 year sober, and that's hard in your 20s. All my friends like to hang out at bars, which of course are not my forte. And then when I do get roped into going out, there's so many questions. Where's your drink? Why aren't you drinking? And I found the best way to avoid this is to just hold a glass. I'll order like a juice or a mocktail, mock margarita. A bartender made fun of me for saying that once. You mean a virgin margarita? I know what it's called. I just don't think it's any of our business how many other margaritas it has or hasn't fucked. Thank you. I think people just assume I'm not fun because I'm sober and a vegan. I think my sister says there's other reasons, but I'm pretty sure those are it. I want to see what the audience is like. Who else can relate to this? Do we have any vegans in the house?
Woo!
Fuck yeah. Any vegetarians? Yeah? Couldn't commit, huh? What about alcoholics? We have any alcoholics in the house? All right, way too many people cheered. If you cheer, it takes away from my thing, okay? Let's see. No, but it's really hard to make plans when you're vegan. You want to go out to eat. At some point, food's involved, and you get to a restaurant, they say vegan friendly, and then you get there and they only have fries. My partner is a vegan too, which I love. Every time I've dated a carnivore, I've been slowly trying to convert them. It's so stressful. Slowly cutting their milk with soy milk until one day they're unknowingly drinking plain soy milk, and then the next time I'm like, just try a sip of soy milk. They'll try it and be like, wow, honestly, I can't even tell the difference. So yeah, dating a vegan is nice. We teach each other things. For example, when we started dating, I called him honey once, and he said, please don't call me honey. Honey's not vegan. What? But bees make it already. Where's the harm? And so he shows me this documentary with Jerry Seinfeld. And basically, the beekeepers subject the bees to these cages, which they then get smoked out of, and it just depreciates the overall life of the bees. Great film, great point. I think I'm not going to eat honey anymore. 8 months later, I'm outside mowing the lawn, going around a stump, which was apparently home to a ground bee's nest. I get swarmed, chased, stung about 13 times. I go flailing in the house, screaming in immense pain. And Andrew, my partner, comes out like, oh my God, what happened? And I was just going, it's my fault. I shouldn't have mowed. This is their yard. And I slink into the bathroom crying. 10, 15 minutes later, I come out. I'm looking for Andrew. He's not in the house. I'm calling him. Nothing. And then I see a 6-foot man in cranberry farming overalls and a ski jacket outside whacking a stump. He's spraying bug killer at anything that flies out. The man has a backup can in his utility belt. But no, aside from that, so then he comes inside and I said, what happened to defending the life of bees? And he said, get this. No one stings my girl. I know. No, but aside from that, he tends to show a lot of compassion towards bugs. He doesn't kill them when they get in the house. He just sucks them into the vacuum cleaner and says what they choose to do in there is their decision. It's fun to be in a relationship. I've had a rough dating experience up to this point, but I think the pieces are finally falling in place. You know, people are telling me like my stories are getting boring. I think that's a good thing. Being single is all right and all, but I've just never been really great at being alone. Like, you ever pour a bowl of Rice Krispies like just for the background noise? You put on Dora the Explorer reruns and try to jam as much of a conversation into the long pauses after she asks a question. Do you know where he went? No, I didn't catch that part, but look, Dora, I had a swiper in my life once, and trust me, he's never gonna change. So also every time I've been single, people want to insert themselves in my love life way too much. Do you guys feel this? No? Okay, I have a story for you. So I have a grandma who loves to complain. I do too, so it works out great. Well, we're having our weekly rant session one week. We're both fired up. Everyone's a bitch, trying to piss us off. And she pauses the conversation and says, you know what it is? We need to get laid more. Verbatim. I'm serious, she says. Come down to Arizona for the summer. We'll be each other's wing women. It'll be fun. So I think, sure, this will make for a good comedy bit someday. I fly down to Arizona to her 65-up trailer park in Phoenix, and this is how our days went. We'd ride her golf cart over to the clubhouse. She'd pick out her widower of the week at the shuffleboard table. I'd walk over there and say, hi, my grandma thinks you're hot. Point at grandma and walk away. And I'm not gonna lie, she had an uncomfortable amount of success with this tactic. So then at night, she'd wanna make it up to me. We'd go out to eat, she'd see me checking out, some waitress, waiter, whatever, and she'd write my number down on the bill, which she paid for. And then hand them back the bill with a phone number on it and never specify whose number it was. So one day we're in Walmart getting a frozen pizza for dinner because I'm kind of over going out to eat. And I said, Grandma, I think I'm gonna go home soon. It's nothing personal. I'm just not having any success here, and I'm kind of getting sick of hanging at the pool while you have quickies in your trailer. And it was at that moment I spotted the sexiest man I've ever seen working in the electronics department at Walmart. He notices me too, obviously. And we're staring at each other. He smiles, I smile, and Grandma clocks it. So she walks over there, determined to make it up to me, and says, excuse me, young man, I am in the market for an electronic. Could you tell me about some of your products? Now I get to read his name tag. His name is Nick. His blue vest complements his eyes. My grandma keeps looking at me, nudging me, trying to include me in the conversation, but I have no idea what's going on. I'm in love. What can I say? So 20 minutes go by, and he's ringing my grandma up for something, an electronic, I presume. And he runs off to go get us a cart. Now my grandma turns to me, unexpectedly agitated, and says, you better get his number, damn it. I just bought a 62-inch TV that I hope to God I can return tomorrow to keep that conversation going for you. My family is fun. My whole family's like that. I got an aunt who still refers to the pandemic as the war on bats. Do you guys remember this pandemic? Everyone was getting sick, right? And I'm not blaming anyone for catching this thing. It was bigger than us. But I grew up with one of those dads that was all about strengthening our immune systems. We were the kind of family that applied the 5-second rule to pizza that fell on the ground, cheese side down. Those kind of things. And I really didn't get sick as a kid. That method prevented me from the flu, strep, chicken pox, Tetris. I didn't get anything. So I'm just thinking, if we do this on a bigger scale, hear me out. All right, everyone's so sheltered now. Pump gas with gloves on. I say, lick the gas pump. Right? Okay, maybe don't start with a gas pump. Firsthand, you'll become violently ill. You got to work your way up. Maybe start with some mailbox poles, a gently used bowling ball. My aunt says the bats will be back someday. Now I'm just saying, if we've spent the last 4 years dragging our tongues along the railings of escalators, we'll be fucking invincible. Oh my God, COVID, what a throwback. Do you guys remember essential paper products? It's just a term I never thought I'd say because I don't really think of paper products as a necessity. I mean, toilet paper, yes, essential. Are there ways to get around it? Sure, but your hand will never smell the same. But paper towels? The fuck? What are y'all spilling in your homes so often? Growing up, we used like 1 roll of paper towels every 2 months. You know, if it wasn't too messy, you just grabbed a rag. My parents would, paper towels. My parents would be like, we're not gonna buy something, we're just gonna throw away. Their motto was like, we're not cheap, we're good at saving money. And most of the time, I would agree with them. The one exception being the time we celebrated Christmas in January. Do you want to know why we celebrated Christmas in January?
Yes.
Because that year, my dad's tree guy raised the price on Christmas trees. And everyone knows Christmas isn't Christmas without a Christmas tree, Genesis 4:19. But my dad's not going to buy a tree because the tree guy raised the price and he's got to teach him a lesson, right? So what we did was we waited until our neighbors dragged their tree to the curb. And then me and my sisters snuck out that night and dragged it back into our house. It was like the Grinch in reverse. And here's the best part. So my mom's at the store the next day. She calls me. I just bought 7 boxes of candy canes for $1. Isn't that a steal? I said 7 boxes of candy canes. What do you need that for? For the tree. The tree doesn't have any friggin' pine needles left on the branches. My parents are interesting. I was living at their house not that long ago. They're opening up the mail one day, and my mom shows my dad, did you see this? Lisa, one of her college friends, sent us an anniversary card. And my dad goes, oh, that's sweet. Mike and Laura up the street gave us a gift card too. Did you see that? Meanwhile, I'm sitting back like, what? Can you imagine the point of content you'd have to be at in your own life to send an anniversary card on somebody else's anniversary? That is beyond me. I don't know, but I think couples in general should stop including other people in their relationships so much. Weddings, overhyped. I got a friend, she's getting married this fall. She keeps sending me links to her wedding registry. Every card I get the official invite, save the date. They all start the same. You are cordially invited to the ceremonial matrimony on the 9th day. And here's a link to our wedding registry. I went to her bridal shower the other week, which is apparently a different thing than a bachelorette party. Who knew? I showed up with like all these phallic-shaped blinking accessories, and they're all drinking tea. Her mom's there. And anyway, she sends us home with all these thank you goodie bags. They've got some chocolates, lotion, a candle, and a little printed paper with a QR code to our wedding registry. I'm like, homie, you want me to buy, I'm using washed pickle jars as drinking glasses. And you want me to buy you a blender? I don't even have a blender. What is it with these gifts too? Like, people get married and all of a sudden they start acting like their forks aren't good enough. My parents have had the same set of silverware for 29 years. As a wedding gift, yes, but they are still fully functional. I don't know, I really do think weddings are obnoxious. Andrew and I have talked about marriage before. Neither of us really love the concept, but I don't think that means we're any less serious about each other. Shoot, I just forgot all my lines. Got too nervous. I'll never forget the day I told him how I felt. I sat him down and said, baby, I just want to let you know, I think I'm the one. I know, the narcissism runs deep. But like I always say, it's just not fair. Why does narcissism always affect the prettiest people? Maybe I am a little narcissistic. I mean, I think you have to be to rent a whole event venue and invite a bunch of people out to listen to you talk about your life for an hour. My therapist asked what day I wanted to meet this week, and I'm like, I'm covered. My therapist is trying to get me to be more grounded in reality. She wants to help me stop thinking so black and white. And I'm like, okay, good luck, lady, because I have always been this way. Growing up, I would tell my parents a story very matter-of-factly about someone that crossed me at school that day and how I will now think of them as evil. And stories like this, my mom's looking at me like that happened yesterday too. Stories like this would typically end with me going upstairs to my sisters and saying, Dad just called me irrational. Should I move out? Speaking of moving out, I don't live with my parents anymore. I moved in with Andrew. Partially because I thought it would be fun, and partially because I hate packing so much. I can explain. So packing gives me so much anxiety. I can make the most detailed packing list and somehow still end up in Puerto Rico for 10 days with only the same pair of undergarments I arrived with on my body. It's an absolutely true story. For over a week, I hand washed the same pair in the sink after every outdoor activity. My family would knock on the bathroom door waiting for me to leave for dinner. Oh, I'm sorry, did you need to blow dry your underwear? Sorry about that. I know, why couldn't you just get a new pair of underwear? I'm good at saving money, okay? So anyway, that early stage of dating when you're packing a bag to stay at the other person's house every weekend. As you can imagine, I got fed up with that pretty quick. I think Andrew and I had been dating about 4 months, and I said, let's move in together. And he very reasonably goes, that's really soon for me. We haven't even said I love you yet. Well, we'll say it when we get there. I go, but if I have to pack one more fucking bag, my head's gonna pop off. So we moved in together. Bless him, right? And of course, there's that learning curve when you're figuring out how to live together and finding out each other's quirks. For example, I found out that he has a designated bug vacuum. And he found out that when I get hurt by an inanimate object, I tell it can fuck right off and go to hell. No, but in all honesty, it's been going pretty well. We live in this cute little house we can't afford. I love when people come over and they're like, oh my God, do you own this place? Like, bitch, I just served you water in a pickle jar. We are 100% renters. Our neighborhood is interesting. When I say our house is adorable, what I mean is we put work into it and we make it adorable. Some of our neighbors do not. We've got houses in our neighborhood with grass up to their windows, 4 broken cars in the driveway, piles of garbage spilling out of their carports. But I think inarguably, the best part about these houses are the cameras they have mounted on their doors. I'll be walking through the neighborhood like, oh, sweetie, no one's gonna steal from you. Andrew's like, you're gonna get our house egged. Bless him, right? People are always skeptical when I tell them I'm dating Andrew. We were at a party the other week, and he's sitting over there, I'm over here, and I just told this girl that him and I were dating, and she keeps looking back and forth at us until she finally asks, so, where do you fall on the spectrum? And because my first thought was, yes, someone who loves to overshare with strangers, I said, well, my parents never had me tested, but, and she cut me off. No, I'm sorry, no, sexuality, where do you fall on the spectrum? I think my appearance throws people through a loop sometimes. I cut my hair short again. Not everyone's a fan. People keep asking me, what does Andrew think? Does Andrew like it? My grandma said to me the other day, she said, you just look so gay. Okay. Grandma, you and I have the same haircut, okay? I have to break it down for people all the time. I am a bisexual woman, okay? I like having sex on 2 wheels. Bisexual. That doesn't always register for people, a lot of times people will think Andrew's my beard. The first time I met his friends, I overheard them talking to each other like, do you think he knows? But the truth is, Andrew's just a real dude, and he accepts me. He's not intimidated by what other people think a woman in a heterosexual relationship should look like. And he knows that my hairy legs and my love for baggy clothes and my gay haircut have no impact on how well I can suck a dick. So yeah. If you caught that, I have not shaved my legs for 6 years, all right? It's incredibly empowering, but I've survived a lot of criticism, from men who have hair on their legs, just like mine, from women who date men who have hair on their legs, just like mine, right? I don't get it. I don't get what makes the hair that grows out of my body gross. So the best way I found to confront this, and you can try this too, if anybody ever gives you a look of disgust about anything, really, you can just smile and go like, I'm taken, sorry. Even if it's not true, just, oh my God, are you staring at me? I'm flattered, but no. What else? I turned 25 this year, which is, thank you, which is apparently the age where your brain stops developing. So I'm fucked. No, I think I'll be all right. I'm decently smart. It's just hard for me to apply myself. I have an incredible case of ADHD, which, it's kicking in right now. I got an office job this year, too. I mean, imagine this, at a desk. I know. So I thought, I better get a hold of this thing, and I go to my primary doctor. Big mistake, by the way. If you got something going on up here, go straight to a psychiatrist, because this is what my primary does. She prints me this packet. It's 8 pages, this teeny font, no pictures, like the literal worst thing you could give someone with ADHD. And I reread the same paragraph on concentration tips and tricks like 5 times before I realized I was completely zoned out. So I did learn that making to-do lists are a saving grace for not forgetting things. I just have to write a second note to remind myself to not forget about the to-do list. My memory is shit. You know when you walk in a room and you can't remember what you walked in there for? 'Cause that is every room I walk into, ever. Having a bad memory scares me sometimes. Like my biggest fear is I'm gonna rinse out my menstrual cup in someone's sink, get so distracted I forget to put it back in, and then the next person walks in and is like, whoa, guys, what is this? And everyone crowds around to see, so now I gotta make like, yeah, I didn't know what it is either, and go over there and then spend the next hour free bleeding on their couch until my ride is ready to go. That's my biggest fear. So another thing you should know about attention deficit hyperactive disorder is it can make your brain think the most inappropriate, irrelevant things are hilarious when they are not. I'm sure I've given you a multitude of examples, but here's another one. I have a friend, she's just like me, too much like me, and we have been hanging out all day. It's night now, and we've been hanging out all day, and we were still hyping each other up, and I said to her, oh my gosh, between your ADHD and mine, I get such a headache. Ha ha ha. And she looks at me deadpan, super offended, and goes, I don't have ADHD. And then it sunk in and I remembered, oh, frick, it's not appropriate to diagnose your friends or tell them they give you a headache. So I said to her, I am so sorry. Like, that was really rude. Now, that would have been a good place to stop, but I kept going. Really, dude, I'm sorry. I just blurt out whatever comes to mind. I mean, that's the ADHD in me. But you get that. So, menstrual cups. Such a weird product. Ugh, I say it all the time. The main reason I'm an atheist is because I'm a woman. I mean, how can I worship a God who created downward-facing vaginas and gravity? We couldn't get a fucking zipper or something? No, I gotta stick a cup. And yeah, I know, there's easier products, there's tampons, but I'm still mad at tampons. They tripped me up as a kid and I haven't gotten past it. Do you guys know the packaging that these things come in? Okay, well, if you don't, they come in these little plastic sleeves with just one letter on them to let you know what size they are. Okay, so the lights have just an L, regulars an R, super an S. You get it? Well, if you don't get it, if you don't understand the legend, shit gets confusing. I remember the first time I got my period, I'm in middle school. The gym teacher gives me a pile of tampons with the smaller sizes, lights and regulars, right? But they don't say that. So now I'm in the stall with a handful of tampon wrappers with L's and R's on them. In a society that commonly uses L and R to represent left and right. I'm freaking out. Left and right, what? I'm hyperventilating, head between my legs. Are there supposed to be two? Love me some anxiety. Another thing I got out of seeing a psychiatrist are some more diagnoses. Mental illnesses, collect them all. I should be the spokesperson for instability. So I got some more conditions in the bag. No, I'm not going to share. Guys, we have to have boundaries. But what I will tell you for context of the next story is emotional regulation for me is a lost cause. I was driving with my cousin the other day, and a song comes on. It's great. I'm on top of the world, and I'm like, Kev, how fun would this be to party to? Which instantly transforms to overwhelming sadness because I don't have anybody to party with. Which within seconds becomes, why won't anybody be fucking friends with me? So what do you want to do for lunch? We make it back to my house, and he goes to use the bathroom where he sees a bottle of medication, and he comes out and out of genuine curiosity asks, what are you taking? And I said, just a mood stabilizer. And he said, is it working? And that's the question you guys can ask yourself on your drive home tonight. No, thank you all for coming out. That actually went a lot faster than I was anticipating. I hope you had some fun. You've been a great crowd. My name is Sange. Thank you. All right, that's it. Yeah.